Joining me now are Chad Coneway and Dan Aminoff with the Fairfax County Public Schools Facilities Planning Advisory Council. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, the FPAC, as we fondly refer to it, we love acronyms, so we finally refer to your council as FPAC, just got underway a year ago.
That's right.
And what was the thinking behind starting this council? Either one of you can answer that.
I think the goal was by the school board was to get a body that is able to vet these pretty contentious issues with facilities and give it a public community voice. Mm-hmm. And they formed us through different districts, one person assigned each district, and they've allowed us to kind of be the first line in vetting, boundary studies, facilities issues, and most importantly right now, our strategic plan.
Right. And how many people serve on the council?
There's 13 members, one from each of the magisterial districts plus 3 at-large members.
And you're right, in terms of the boundaries have been known to be contentious here in Fairfax
Slightly,
County.
Yes.
So that's an admirable goal of FPAC. So tell us a little bit about what you've done your first year.
Well, our first goal was to get ourselves organized. I mean, the one thing the school board did was give us a lot of different resources with people in terms of lots of different backgrounds. I'm an engineer. I've worked in CIP planning in my day-to-day job. But we've got a lot of different people with different experiences, probably none of them with a whole lot of experience in boundary studies. And that's what they were looking for, somebody that kind of could look at this thing in a fresh view. So we had to get ourselves organized first. So that included getting bylaws and that sort of thing done, and then kind of figuring out what we're really going to do. I mean, because it was very wide open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was, the first year was really a learning curve situation. We got a good appreciation for how big the district is, mm-hmm. how many resources it manages, mm-hmm. how many square feet are under its control. So the first year we really kind of got to know the district inside and out, and now this year we're working on the strategic plan that we'll provide to the school board in June.
And your background, Dan, is?
I'm in finance.
You're in finance. But I think that is a great point that everybody was selected to bring a really rich background to this council, not necessarily political appointments.
Exactly, and that's quite, obvious in the people that were appointed that there are not those sort of, none of us have any background in politics or anything
mm-hmm.
like that, and we're trying to be as objective as we can. We don't really have any more dog in this fight than the community does, and so we really want to make an objective approach to this whole thing.
Right. Well, tell us about the strategic plan. What do you hope to accomplish?
The strategic plan, as I understand the way the school board envisions us providing it, is to kind of set the tone for the things that need to be included in the annual capital improvement plan, mm-hmm. also known as the CIP, mm-hmm. so that Dean and his staff can take direction from us as to what are the priorities, what needs to be looked at sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm. And have you made any decisions so far?
Last year we took a look at the South County. They're opening up a new middle school in the fall of this year, and the question was whether a new boundary study needed to be completed prior to opening the new middle school, mm-hmm. or whether we should have, or we should wait until later, because the other thing they have going on in the South County area is the BRAC. Mm-hmm. So we felt that it was better to wait, let the school open, see how it shakes out, have about a year or so of any impacts from BRAC, and then revisit it at that time, probably more on a broader scale mm-hmm. as opposed to just particularly into the South County.
Right. Now, I know you guys were busy during the past year on a listening tour. And tell us what you wanted to accomplish from that.
Well, it was a really interesting experience. One thing that we really wanted to convey in our first year was that we're taking input from the community. We didn't want to be perceived as an extension of the school board or an extension of the staff, although we lean very heavily on the staff. I'm not going to make any bones about that. Their experience is something else. But we went out in the county and just tried to get a sense of what their concerns were. And there's a couple of things we learned. One was that schools really, or the communities identify themselves with the schools. Mm. That is that's a very important part of their identity. Mm-hmm. The other part was that we need to reach out to underrepresented groups. That they didn't feel like in some of the previous boundary studies that maybe those groups were as acknowledged as as they could have been. Mm-hmm. And the other one was that they really felt like that we could do a better job with analyzing intangible factors in school boundary studies. That was such as things like free and reduced lunches, impacts to booster clubs, impacts to the ability for schools to provide different services, they felt like that wasn't as acknowledged or as recognized as it's possible.
Yeah, as Chad said, we wanted to portray ourselves as an honest broker between the community and the school board to vet out all the issues that may be associated with really any facilities issue, whether it be a boundary study, a renovation of a school, whatever the case may be. And we learned a lot. As Chad mentioned, there are several people that just don't have the ability to attend a meeting and speak out. They're working 2 jobs. They've got childcare issues. So it's hard for those people to really get their say in the process.
And how do you hope to continue to collect information and feedback from the community as you move forward?
Well, our meetings are always open to the public, so anybody can come. Twice a month we meet over at the Gatehouse Center. We plan to do additional community meetings, reaching out to a broader group of people, not just the school population, but civic associations and some others within. So we'll be out and about the county all over the place.
Great. And to stay up to date, people can visit our website and find out where you're meeting and when. And
the website has all of our agendas. We post them at least a week in advance for the agendas of the following meeting. All of our minutes, all of our studies and reports that we put out to the board, we'll make those available. We really just want to make it as transparent as possible to make sure everybody understands that we're trying to do the best with the resources, the limited resources that Fairfax County Public Schools has for facilities.
Right. Well, thank you both very much.
Thank you for having us.